cringe. This is terrible. We have no say in whatever we can get. I go to New York and I walk to Times Square, and sometimes you see like a rally of 200, 300, 400 people just fighting for their rights and or their beliefs, and
Mm.
it still goes unnoticed. Nothing is happening. That 1% or the higher ups or the people who have the most accumulated the most wealth in this country, and pretty sure the majority of them didn't go to school, and if they did, they went to school to bullshit, play golf, and wear nice polo clothes, and just we're guaranteed jobs after graduation no matter what. But the real people who are really struggling, real, like, all the time I go to these events for celebrity website launch parties. Yeah, we
Right.
have people like us who have launched these websites, but we can't afford to throw no damn party like that, to have like half of all these celebrities walk in, have all this, like it just happens to them. It's just so
Right.
easy for them. They have it. It's like
Yeah.
they're living what America was supposed to be, but everybody else is suffering. The people
Yeah.
who really make
And it's
America
funny that
America.
you mentioned that because I know exactly which launch party you're talking about. But it's interesting. It's interesting because yeah, I mean, there's the people that have the money, and obviously the kids. They benefit. Oh, today I want to have a website, and I want to be a mogul, or I want to have a
Right.
reality show. I want to have all this stuff, and they have that push. They have that economic start to do
Right. After
whatever they can
accumulating.
imagine. And then, then you got everybody else that's might
And it's
be,
not the real
yeah,
creativity. They have websites. They can start their own fashion design. They make music. You know what I mean? And they're not real people. They're not. I wouldn't say real people, but they don't have as much power. I mean, and power as I mean like they don't have deep creativity, deep rhythm,
right,
deep paintings that they can speak about, real pictures to paint and real stories to tell.
right.
What I can't imagine what a horrible day was like for them. What their Whole Foods bag got a hole in it and an apple fell out and rolled across the street. We have people. Is that really a
That
terrible
sounds
day?
terrible. Yeah.
Sounds doesn't it sound heartbreaking?
Right. No, but it's true though. I mean, again, you know what? I think we all would like to um, have, I guess, financial abundance, and definitely want our offspring to be able to enjoy all that. I guess that's part of the American dream. But yeah, I mean, it is unfair, the uneven
Right.
distribution of wealth, and the fact that a lot of the kids riding on their parents' fame and their parents' money tend to have no talent, tend to not be the brightest in the bunch, and they're flourishing. They're making it happen. They're making
Like
it
my
happen for
parents came
themselves.
here from my parents came here for different countries,
Right.
Spanish countries. I'm the first generation here to hope to, and they want me to have a whole better life. And I don't take that for granted. I'm pretty sure I have a much more liberal and free life than they ever did back in their countries.
Right.
But what's the difference? Just as much as they were slaves in theirs, I'm still a slave in my country. I'm still
Right.
a slave in
Right.
America. There's not much that I can do. I have freaking four wisdom tooth that need to be pulled out that drive me insanely mad, and there's nothing I could do about it other than pay some humongous buff dude to pull it out for me.
Right. And Seven, you were asking about what is the fear like
Hmm.
of making things more equal to people. And America is a very individualistic country. And
Right.
one of the things that they're afraid of is they don't want to use their tax dollars or their own money to help someone else. And that's part of what the fear is that the government is taking from you to help someone else.
Right. I hear you. But I mean, at some point it will bubble and burst. And every time, I mean, even back to 1928, where you have a small amount of people making a lot of money,
Right.
and let's take from the poor and let's do this, let's do that. It bubbles, it bursts, and then America suffers for it. I mean, we've seen this happen two or three times in our history. So at some point, don't they realize that you can make a lot more longer term, and be a lot more successful as a nation? Because if the people are sick and the people aren't educated, you're going to suffer, because these other nations, they're making sure they're getting their people educated. There's actually a focus to do it, and there's actually a focus to make sure your people are healthy. Without those things, you have a weak nation. It doesn't matter how many bombs you have and how many machine guns you have. You know, I don't know why people don't realize you're going to lose.